All right, so welcome to our core flow practice. This is the last practice prior to the holidays here in December. So whether you're doing this live or doing the recording afterwards in your own time, happy holidays. And I hope that you have just a beautiful, restful, peaceful time. What a way to jump into it with this class together. So I always like to have a blanket close by for Shavasana. Feel free to grab one now. And other than that, we do not need props for this practice. We start seated. Cross your legs. Place hands to thighs. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath through the nose. And through the mouth, let it go. 2 more like that. Letting go of not only that exhale, but anything else you might be holding on to that may have happened to you during the day or the week. I find as soon as I step on my mat, it's so amazing to see if I can start fresh for myself. And I kind of challenge myself or test myself to see how quickly I can get to that place. Right? Why take that whole hour to get there? Let's just get there right now so that we can really enjoy this hour of practice that much more. So those exhales through the mouth work quite magically for myself. See if they can help you as well. And if you feel like you have done enough of those now, you can close your mouth and move more into that nasal breath. Pressing the tongue towards the roof of the mouth, lifting the upper palate, and creating that amphitheater of sound for your breath to reverberate around. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, you're creating that sound as if you're fogging up a mirror, that gentle sensation. So listen to that Ujjayi pranayama and help it to, or let it help you rather, let it help you to stay present. Are there any distractions that may be happening around you in your household or wherever you're tuning in from? Let it be your playlist of practice. And just take 2 more perfect breaths, just like that. And as you arrive at the base of this next exhale, press palms together in front of your heart. Bow your head down. And set your intention for practice. And tonight's collective intention is one of gratitude. So in this moment, I'd love for you to visualize someone in your life, and it could be yourself, it could be your partner, children, parents, someone that's very close to you in this moment, or someone that is quite far away, or maybe someone you could possibly never see again. I want you to just visualize them and just send a bunch of gratitude their way, dedicating this practice to that person. Hold them in your heart. Again, it could be yourself as well. Soften your face with a smile and release your hands. Stay seated here. Tent your fingertips behind you. Good. So tent those fingertips behind you now. And inhale, lift and lengthen through your spine. I'll mirror you. Walk the right hand away. Plant the palm fully. Take the opposite hand to your hip. And now spiral your chest toward the ceiling. Extend the upper arm over the ear. And then gaze down. See if you can slowly begin to lower that bottom elbow. So you'll be giving a little bend at the elbow. It doesn't need to come all the way down. Eventually you may. But I want you to stay quite anchored through that opposite sitting bone. The goal is to feel that beautiful side body stretch. And I really feel it at the top of my hip when I do this. If your neck is sensitive, keep your gaze down and just take one more big breath. Into a seated twist. So we'll inhale, reach the upper arm, and exhale, place the left hand behind you now, opposite hand in front. You're spiraling the chest toward the back wall. Take a big inhale, get a bit longer through the spine. And then take a big exhale, deepen your twist. Next, inhale, arrive back through center. Take a clearing breath here. Into our second side, walk those left fingertips away from you. Plant the right hand to your hip. Spiral the chest open, lift the gaze. And then as you're ready, lift through the upper arm. Now this is where we take the gaze down and begin to bend the bottom elbow. Again, the forearm doesn't need to completely rest on the mat. I want you to find your edge wherever that opposite sitting bone starts to really lift. So we want to keep it grounded. And just play with that. How deep can you get in your side body stretch? Again, if the neck is sensitive, keep your gaze down. Although you're welcome to play with lifting the gaze as well. Next, inhale, reach the upper arm and you'll place it behind you for that seated twist. Opposite hand in front. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine. And exhale, deepen that thoracic rotation. Once more, inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, deepen. Good, come back through center. Extend your legs out in front of you. Place your fingertips behind you, just like you did in our seated flow there. But now tap your toes in towards your body, and we'll start to fire the hip flexors. So stay nice and long in the spine. Next, bring your hands forward to your thighs. Zip your quads into your belly until your toes are just hovering to the mat. Wrap your triceps back to broaden the collarbones on the front body. And then retract the head, and that action will actually help you lift the legs. We'll play with toe taps now. Lower one set of toes. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower the second set of toes. Inhale, lift. Do that a few more times, keeping the quadriceps zipped into the belly. As we get a little more tired or fatigued, they may start to drift forward. And this is the first of our core building of the practice. So throughout the hour, we weave core exercises and postures into our vinyasa flow. I love this practice. It's my personal practice, so it is such a joy for me to share with you. We'll do one more with the hands on the thighs, and if you're like me, you might start to get a bit of a death grip going here. So we have to challenge ourselves further. Because we don't want to rely on the hands, we want to rely on the core. So zip the legs in, and then get rid of the arms, bring them forward, okay? Palms up. Same thing, tap and lift. Tap and lift. Now we're going into straight, so keep tapping, but as you lift, see if you can lift up to the straight position. And then back down. Tap, lift halfway, maybe straighten it. Back down. Tap, lift halfway, maybe straighten it, back down, and tap. Oops, I did the opposite side. There we go. And straighten it, back down. Good. Tap the toes down, place your hands behind your thighs, pull them in. This is a nice release. Take a breath. Second round, we lift the shins. We bring the arms forward, interlace the fingers, point the index fingers straight ahead, and exhale over to the left. So tonight's flow is comprised of a lot of twists. I thought it was a really good holiday theme, kind of detoxifying, wringing ourselves out prior to any big feasts that may be in your future. Pull your ribs to the left. Twist, twist, twist. And then come back through center, reset. Hands behind the thighs, lift the chest. Lean back, second side, arms forward, interlace the fingers, take them to the right. Twist, 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 pull the right ribs back. Another breath. Take them forward, soles of the feet together. Now place your hands to your ankles. Take your knees to your elbows. And one more active pose. I want you to push your knees up into your elbows, okay? This is hard after that. So as activation. So push the knees up into the elbows. Push, push, push. Isometric contraction. One more breath. But it'll help you get into a deeper stretch of Baddha Konasana. Let it go. You can even take hands behind you. Give a lift to the glutes. Wrap the thighs down and drop the knees. Your feet are opening up like a book through that external rotation that is initiated where the acetabulum and the femur bone connect. Take another breath here, just releasing. Nice, everyone. Take hands to outer thighs, plop them up. Last Navasana, just a traditional one. So for this version, you'll actually reach for the outer edges of your feet. Find your sitting bones and come forward. So you might pause here. The belly is glued to the thighs. Maybe you're working one leg straight and then down. The opposite leg straight and then down. Or maybe rooting both legs up and hold. Play with that balance. Anytime you feel like you're really rounding into the spine, please tap your toes down, realign, and come back to any of the variations we've done so far. One more breath, pull it in, and then slowly let it go into child's pose. So take your time, step yourselves back, knees wide, big toes touch, and send the hips back toward the heels. Sway from side to side, and when you're ready, release the belly, release the head. Find that same connection to your breath that we started off with. Deep inhales through the nose, deep exhales through either the nose or mouth, your choice. One more. Next, inhale, shift forward through tabletop. Next, exhale, step the legs back through plank pose. Pause. In plank pose, your heels are stacked over your toes, your shoulders are stacked over your wrists. And then you're pushing the mat away from you, a slight rounding of the upper back as you protract those shoulder blades. Keep that. Now start to stretch from the crown of the head all the way out through the heels. One more big breath. And on the exhale, shift the hips up. Press the thighs back. Inhale, rise to the tips of the toes. Stay on the tips of the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Rest the belly toward the thighs. Keep the belly back. Slowly begin to lengthen the heels down toward the earth. Let's flow. Inhale, rise to the tips of your toes. Step your feet together, making your legs one solid beam. And then exhale, bend your knees. Walk, step, or give that little hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold fully. Inhale, rise up to reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. And if you have a couple layers on, you may want to take them off now. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze.
Yes, I can see small baby.
Exhale, swan dive forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, long spine. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward through plank pose, Palakasana. And shift to the tips of the toes, lower halfway for Chaturanga Dandasana. And feet lift the chest for upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips for downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Either static in the pose or pedaling the legs, your choice. Notice how your breath moves the body. We talked about that in yin this week a lot. No. Inhale is an opportunity for sort of a micro adjustment in your alignment. And then each exhale, once you've refined your alignment, you go deeper. By the base of the exhale, you've really landed in the optimal pose. Inhale, rise to the tips of the toes, legs together. Exhale, hips high, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, reach up, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Round two. Inhale, lift, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward, Palakasana. Exhale, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale, back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Feet together, inhale, tips of the toes, prepare. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands to heart, Samasthiti. We do that once more, no cues. Just follow your breath or follow the video if you get a little lost along the way. We start together, one breath in Tadasana, mountain pose. Reset. Here we go. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Closing with hands in front of the heart. Take your feet to the edges of the mat, pull the heels in, toes out, hands to heart, and take a slow squat down. So your hips stay back, 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 and then drop your hips for Malasana, knees or elbows to the inner knees, and then push the elbows to the knees to create that beautiful length through the spine. Now let your knees push into the elbows just as much, and you'll feel that activation of your psoas. So it's not just the stretch here, but we can continue to build strength. Drop the left hand, swing the right arm up. And place the back of the hand to your sacrum, either resting here or completing the bind if you so choose. Release the hands back through your heart center. One breath, lengthen. And then exhale, lower the right hand, sweep the left arm up. Place the back of the hand to your sacrum or complete that wrap. Gaze down, release your hands. Inhale, lift the hips. Parallel the feet. Keep the right hand down beneath your face. Sweep the left arm up and then bend the right knee. Switch sides, lower your hand. Sweep the right arm up, bend the left knee. Inhale. And just work with your breath. We'll do that once more to each side. Preparing the thoracic spine for this next version of Surya Namaskar. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Step your feet together, keep an inch of space between the heels. And exhale, sink down through your legs. So a little non-traditional today in our Surya B, we're adding a lot of twists. Place hands together in front of your chest. And then start to lift the chest and then sink down. Hold and breathe. Let's twist. Take the left hand to the outer thigh with your right elbow hook. Press your palms together. Pull your right hip back as you twist left. Gaze down. Float the right foot up and send the right leg back so you're completing a twist in a lunge now as well. Keep that bandha or that energy lock between your front leg and thigh. Use it to help you rotate the torso once again to the left. Peel the top shoulder back. Straighten the back leg. You're going to bring your hands to center and then release the hands down. Step to a one-legged plank. So the left leg now just hovers and you'll need to drop the hips a few more inches. It takes a minute to kind of find the alignment here. So hips down, leg up. Hold. Shift to the tips of the toes, lower halfway, and complete your flow. Lift upward facing, stretch downward facing. One breath between sides. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Feet together, and then exhale, sink down into the legs. Bring your hands together in front of your chest. And then you'll start off quite far forward. Please lean back. Sink back down. Place the right hand to the outer thigh with your left elbow hook. Press your palms together. Pull the left knee back as you twist right. Revolve the top shoulder down. Breathe. Gaze down, lift the left leg up and send it back. Continue to use this lock between the arm and the leg to create the lift. So notice here that if I'm not lifting, you'll see that my torso is quite down. So I really want you to lift the torso and then rotate the spine. Yeah. Peel the top shoulder down and get that back leg straight and strong. Gaze down. Bring your hands to center. Plant the hands, float the right leg back. And then get that hover, so drop the hips, but lift the leg. I don't know if that's hard for any of you, but my butt likes to be way up. So I need to really drop my hips, even as I lift. Keep holding. And then shift, lower halfway. Lift for your upward facing dog. And stretch back for your downward facing dog. Let's take quite a short down dog here, everyone. So walk your feet in until you feel like you might lose your upper body alignment. So I can show you that if I were to walk my feet in too much, I might start to shift forward. We don't want that. I want that nice long spine, feet hips distance. And then here's the test. You'll push your left hand down, gaze to your right hand, and then reach for the outer left leg. We'll twist the upper body here by dropping the right shoulder, bend the elbow, and gaze under the arm. Look forward, switch sides. Plant the right hand, gaze to the left. Reach for the outer right leg. And then begin to twist to the right. Return the arms forward. And once again, find that nice long stance. All right, shift forward through tabletop. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And if you have a tendency to hyperextend the elbows, which means eyes of the elbows might go forward, just give a micro bend there to stay nice and strong in your joints. Push through the arms, just like we did in the first plank, creating that slight protraction through the shoulder blades. Tuck your toes, and then hover both knees. They're only hovering an inch or two above the ground. As you hover your knees, I want to talk to you about your transverse abdominis, one of your deepest core muscles, a girdle that cinches the waistline in, wraps around the waist. So really think about with each exhale here, toning the transverse abdominis. Your knees are still hovering. It's a lot of work, I know, but you're feeling that tightening, that corset around the waistline. When you're ready, drop the knees now. Lay the tops of the feet down. Lift the sitting bones. Drop the belly. Lift chest. Gaze. Exhale. Tuck the toes. Round the spine. Gaze to navel. Come back through center. Round two. So discover your alignment and then hover the knees. Now this time, pull the right knee to chest. Point the toes. Zip the knee in. Hold and breathe. Same thing, so what has shifted on this side? Are you needing to really think about your core? Pull your outer hip points in toward your belly button. Pull the belly back to the spine. I'm getting warm, I hope you are too. One more breath. Take the leg back, drop the knees. Lift the tailbone, drop the belly. Lift chest, lift gaze. Exhale, tuck. Round, gaze in. One more side to go, everybody. Press into tabletop. Hover the knees. Pull the left knee in. Point the toes. Pull the outer hip points in toward the navel. Pull the navel back toward the spine. One more breath. Let's still do one more after that. Really keep them even between sides. Send the leg back, drop the knees together, feet together. Come onto a toe stretch for your wrist therapy. Whew. Bring the arms in front of you, make fists, and then circles one direction. And then the next. Fingertips up, support or pull rather. The right fingertips in, heel of the hand away. And then flip the hand supporting the top of the hand here. And switch, left fingertips up, and then support the top of the hand. Good, return back through tabletop. Take your fingertips out to the side. You might want to release the feet a little bit. And then do a little sway, side to side. Bring the fingertips forward of one hand and the fingertips back of the other. And then do a little back and forth. And then flip. Final one like this. We plant the hands, we tuck the toes, we hover the knees, and we march. One knee in, step back. One knee in, step back. Go for 5. So 4. 3. 2. 1. Step to plank, lift the hips, down dog. Take a breath. Feet together, inhale. Exhale to the top. Lengthen. Still in Surya B. So your feet are together. Sink down, but this time simply reach up. Press down to rise up, a mini back bend. Hands to heart. Second round of Surya Namaskara B. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lift the chest. Hands to heart, take it down. Twist to the left, pulling the right hip back. Shift your weight left, float the right leg back. Back leg straight and strong. Remember that little workshop we did to lift the torso. And then rotate. Okay, bring yourselves through center. And then reach the arms back. Flip your palms forward. Swim forward. Flip your palms back. Reach back. Flip forward. And back. Once more, go forward. Go back. Go forward, and then bend the back knee just enough to help you rise up with a neutral spine. Straighten out the back leg. My front leg is burning. We only hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the back knee. Place your left hand to your knee, and then arch up and over to the left. Getting a beautiful stretch to the right hip flexor. Toes can be tucked or laying down. Again, inhale, lift both arms. Now tuck your back toes, lift the leg. Place left hand to hip, right hand to mat. Stack the shoulders, lift the arm. Move to the outer side of your right foot. Step your left foot in front of you. Kickstand of support. This is option 1 for Vashisthasana. Option 2, both feet on the mat. Or option 3, either hover or, I'm running out of space, or lift. Keep the hips up. My front hand is pressing down and scrubbing forward to activate serratus anterior. One more big breath. That's the banana bundle group of muscles under my ribs. Ooh, lower the leg, gaze down. Plank pose, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Full breath. Tips of the toes to the top of the mat. Lengthen. Hands together, sink down. Twist to the right. Pull the left hip back. Gaze down, shift the weight to the right. Float the left leg back. And then here's that beautiful twist. Revolve. And look at that engagement that helps you revolve. You're working everything here. So my elbow could actually just be hovering. That's how little weight is being pressed. Good, come back through center. Ooh, I almost want to skip this, but obviously we can't. Bring the arms back. Reach it forward. And reach it back. Twice more. Forward. And back. Forward. And back. Reach it forward. And then bend the back knee just enough to help you rise up with a neutral spine. Straighten out the back leg. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the back knee, front hand to right hand to front knee. Give that little side bend to the right. Targeting the left psoas now. Good, come back through center. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Right hand to hip, left hand to mat. Spiral the chest, lift. Vashisthasana, stage 1. Stage 2. Or stage 3. Notice the tendency to dip. So if you push your front hand and scrub it forward, you'll get the lift, as well as the amazing oblique activation. Lower plank, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Stay with a long dog. Step your feet together, float the right leg back. Bend the knee, lift the knee skyward, pull the heel toward your butt. In this twist, the hips are stacking, but the shoulders stay squared down, so give a lift to the left armpit. And then we do a little mini core flow here. So from this open position, spiral the knee in to the chest and over to the left elbow. Hold. Take it from the left elbow back to your scorpion tail. Hold. Pull the knee in and over to the left elbow. Hold. Pull the knee up And into that scorpion tail. Hold. Straighten the legs, square the hips. Pull the knee to the outer right wrist. Toes to the left side of the mat. Active pigeon. Tense your front, or tent both fingertips rather. Keep the back leg lifted, or the back knee lifted. But ground the fingertips. Drop the pelvis just an inch. And lift the chest. Drop the back knee, release the top of the foot. Lower the left elbow, but point the fingertips to the right. Take the right hand off the mat and get a nice twist. This is stage one. I love this stretch for my right glute after a good flow practice. If you'd like stage two, you're simply bending the back leg, reaching for the inner foot. You can either pull in or press back. Slowly unwind, walk fingertips in, plant the hands, tuck the back toes, return through downward facing dog. Your choice to either take a flow or just pedal the legs. I'm just gonna stay right here. Let me set up for second side. Draw the left leg up and back. And then bend the knee, lift it, and hug the heel toward your butt. The hips are stacking. The shoulders stay squared, so give a lift to the right armpit. And then two flows, moving in slow motion. A trick that I just taught my 2-year-old. I wish I taught a while ago. It's an awesome one. Slow. Also, it's great for building core strength. Once more, really slow. Wrap it in to the opposite elbow. Pause. Wrap it back to that scorpion tail. Nice work. Straighten the leg. Square the hips. Pull the knee to the outer left wrist. Toes to the opposite side of the mat. Keep the back knee lifted for your active pigeon to begin. Drop the back knee, release the foot. Lower the right elbow, fingertips point to the left. Left hand out to the mat. This is stage one, working with the rotation, feeling the stretch in the left glutes. Stage two is bending the back leg, reaching for the inside of the foot, spiraling the chest up. Slowly unwind, lower your hands, walk them in. Lift your hips, down dog. Take a big breath in through the nose, through the mouth, let it go. Feet together, find the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. And this time just exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to heart, gaze to fingertips. And we close the standing sequence with one Surya A, self-guided. We start in Tadasana. Take a breath together. And then as a group, we inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Nice work, everyone. Take a seat. And then we move right onto our backs. Place your fingertips behind your ears. Tap your toes until they come quite close to the body, but just your big toes are on the mat. And then actually, let's start with my new favorite before we dive into the bicycles. You'll pull your left knee up, shin parallel to the floor. Place both hands, one over the other, on top of the knee. With the strength of your knee, press in toward your body, but with the strength of the hands, push away. So it's this magnificent tug of war that starts to happen. The foot might begin to shake a little bit. This is stage one. If you're still looking for more, pull your outer hip points in toward your navel, pull your navel back toward your spine, and then straighten out the right leg on a 45. Hold and breathe. It's 5 breaths total, 3 more. Nice, cross at the ankles, pull knees to chest, clear it out. Set up for second side, tap the toes down to the mat, walk them quite close to the body. Pull the right knee in, hands to the front knee. With the strength of the leg, you're pulling the knee all the way into the chest, but the hands are here to actually push the leg forward. So find that tug of war where the legs and the arm, or the leg and the arms are both equally working. And then again, if you're adding on, please make sure that your ribs aren't flared up and you're hyperextending, but rather you're pulling the outer hip points to the navel and the navel back toward the spine. Staying integral to the core, you'll be able to then lift the opposite leg. Hold and breathe. Two more. Cross at the ankles, pull the knees to chest. Really nice, place the fingertips behind the ears. Lift your knees over your hips, lift your shins parallel to floor. Extend the right leg. So this is the same shape that we were just in. And the reason why I'm loving that first pose so much is that in my bicycles, I am finding that if I have my front knee in and I go to tap knee to elbow, I'm not really working too much. I'm just all rectus abdominis. It's a crunch. But if I do what we just did, keeping the knee over the hip and go for that nice long lengthened position, I get everything engaged. So try that. Return to center. Extend the left leg on a 45. Exhale, twist right. Try to keep the knee over the hip. See how much harder it is. Come back through center. We have 10 rounds. That's 9 more to go. I like to exhale on the twist and inhale to center. Really make it count. If you struggle with engaging your transverse abdominis, which means that you hyperextend a lot in your spine, start to do the exhales through, as if you're breathing through a straw. So it'll sound like your pose will actually get easier because you're using your deeper core rather than the rectus, your superficial core. And again, I want you each to just be getting the most out of this that you possibly can. We have 4 more rounds. Maybe the bottom leg is going to a hover if you're wanting that extra challenge. 3. Go for 2. Go for 1. Back to center, lift both legs skyward, lift both arms up. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, reaching for those toes, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it go. Knees in, ankles crossed. A big sigh that the work is done. A little rock from side to side. And of course, to reintegrate the hamstrings and stretch the front body, we drop the feet. We float the arms by the side, tapping the 10 fingernails down, lift the chest, and inhale, float the hips. Pause at the top. Push your big toe mounds down. Squeeze the legs in. Peel the shoulders beneath you. Lift the chest, but keep the cervical spine neutral. So chin and forehead in one line. Avoid looking side to side in this back bend. So you'll have to rely on your own internal alignment. Take another big breath at the top, please. And then exhale, mindfully lead the sacrum down. Pull the right knee into your chest. Extend the left leg long. Take the left hand to the knee. Right arm out to a T, and just pull the knee over the body for a very gentle twist. Take the gaze right. Return the gaze to the sky. Pull the knee in, and get ready to switch sides. Right hand is on the knee, pulling it to the right. Left arm is out to a T. Release. Knees in. Grab that blanket and place the knees out. Shavasana. And as you find that beautiful pose, take up some space on your yoga mat and return your awareness to our intention for practice. The collective intention is gratitude. And at the beginning of your class, you dedicated your practice to someone. It could have been yourself. It could have been someone who was in your home with you this evening. It could be someone that you may not see for a long time or that you may never see again. And the goal of this practice was just to dedicate love, appreciation, awareness, and thanks to that person. So as we take our final moments for ourselves today, to see if you can soften your being. You can bring your awareness around your chest. You can put a smile on your face. And you can really make this final moment count. Sending that love wherever it needs to go. Return your awareness to your body. Return your awareness to your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Reach your arms way back behind you. Perhaps initiate a yawn. Pull knees to chest. And move mindfully to the right side. And support yourself up to a seat. Cross your legs. Press your hands together in front of your chest. Bow head to heart. Thank you for showing up for your practice today. From my heart to each of yours. Namaste.